We are back on Morning Line. Our guest is Vice Mayor here in Metro Nashville, Jim Shulman. Good to have him on as always. And taking some of your calls and questions this morning. We've got more that waited through the break. So let's go next. Oh, we just lost John and he was up next. If he calls back, I'll take him. But we have let's see, I think Tom next on line 3. Tom, good morning. Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Hi, what can we do for you?
This is more of a public service announcement.
Okay.
Don't double up on your hydroxychloroquine and wash it down with bleach. It will kill you. Thank you.
All right. Well, we know where that's coming from. The president is taking it, and he says it's helping. I don't know. He's taking it prophylactically because the president does not have the coronavirus, thankfully. But he's taking it, and we'll see how things play out on that. That's more of a medical issue. And you know what? We will have doctors on next week as well. And tomorrow we may have one on Ask Nick. Have you watched Ask Nick yet?
No.
It's on at noon on Wednesdays, where we just open it up as a forum for all of our viewers. Let's go next to line 4. We've got Tony. Tony, good morning. Hi, Tony.
Yeah, good morning, Nick.
Morning to you.
Okay, now what I'm trying to find out, the mayor, he just didn't show up on the scene. He been up there as a vice mayor, so he knew some of this stuff is going to be problematic when he got in office with his run-on. So he can't say he didn't know. But my main concern, Nick, is my children and relatives work for the school, contract custodial departments, and some of them work inside Metro schools. So I don't understand why would he pick on custodians to cut their budget, even though the schools need money. You ain't negotiating with the types of these heavy hitters to get some of the money back. You don't mess with people to clean the school because they're dealing with your children.
Mm-hmm.
They could be more infectious if you keep on fooling with them. I don't understand why the mayor ain't trying to talk to these other big people and get this money back and budget under control.
Okay, and Tony's called in before and always an advocate for custodians and janitors, which I am as well. I mean, in this day and age, they're more important than ever before because they deal with cleanliness. And I don't know, so what is the status? You may not be familiar. I know that there have been threatened cuts that could have affected them in the schools in the past.
Yeah, so Tony, that's one I know about it. I don't know a lot about it because that's on the school side. And remember, we just, when we give the school their budget, we give them the budget. We don't control what they do with it. So I saw it. I saw the story come through. It's like, I know they're trying to figure out ways to save money. I think there's we're getting a lot of email traffic from Jolton because they're trying to start merging and consolidating schools. Let me put it this way. Whenever you take a step back, so it would sort of like be, you know, if you open a school and everybody's, you know, you got kids that go there and everybody's happy, but there's not a lot of kids that go there, or something changes and people don't live in that area anymore, and you're trying to figure out what to do it correctly. You go, okay, I'm going to shut that school down, and then everybody gets mad at you who have kids there and go, it's the greatest school, and why are we doing that? Everything brings about people who will get upset. There'll be other people going like, yeah, we should do it. Nick, this goes back to that basic argument about, you know, if you can cut stuff to, you know, to save on this other stuff. But when you start cutting, people start yelling at you about that too. It's kind of those no-win things.
I know, and I've got some folks here, Kimberly and Christy, kind of, they overlap each other on questions on Facebook, but why can't the large companies like Amazon coming to Nashville and some of them that maybe were given tax breaks or whatever be asked to do more? And then, you know, is the city looking, and can it increase corporate taxes? You know, so many of these businesses come here and get deals to attract them to come here, and that's part of the deal, and it's written, so you can't always go back on it. But as opposed to putting that on the homeowners right now who are just really struggling to get by.
So property taxes are property taxes, you know, so you can't, we can only assess what we're allowed to do under state law. So a corporate tax, I mean, if they're renting a building, or if they own a building, they're going to pay property taxes like anybody else. Or actually, there's a higher rate for corporate. But if you're talking about, let's just assess them a tax, that's all controlled through the state and you know, and the federal government. So we don't have an income tax here, so you can't tax income, and there's just certain things we can do and certain things we can't. So I really do like the fact, I mean, Tony's talking about custodians, you got these other questions coming in. people throwing out ideas. Why can't we do this? And look, if you're more than welcome to send the council or send to me your questions, and we will get them specifically defined and tell you where it says we can't do it. But it's, I'll tell you, again, Nick, this goes back to, it's not like we're not trying to figure out some other way to do it, because it does, you know, when you look at it, it's very difficult for elected officials to go, we have to raise your property taxes. But if we could find another way, we would have already done that. We would have done that 2 years ago. And Tony had said something right at the beginning. I think I heard him. It said, like the mayor did, you know, he should have known. He's been on the council. We all knew. I mean, we've been dealing with this for 2-3 years. So good questions, trying to figure out where we go. But
okay.
We're limited.
Limited on that. Do we have someone on line one, Mary Elena? I wasn't sure on that. Okay, I just wanted to double check then with you then, again, for tonight, if someone wants to monitor what's being discussed tonight and the way the meetings are going to be held, what's the best way to do it? Because we were talking about some of the very issues I think many of the folks on Facebook and calling in are kind of concerned about. And I don't know, is there a way for them to participate in tonight's meeting? So
tonight we just, it should be a shorter meeting. Last meeting we had a public hearing meeting on zoning bills. If you're concerned about the budget, you should watch tonight to see what we're talking about, because the budget will come up, but probably not get a lot of explanation. Budget hearings tomorrow, you can listen to them. Actually, tonight we are going to where you'll be able to see us, either on Channel 3, or if you go to nashville.gov and go to the multimedia part, you can watch us live streaming. Okay, or you can watch it if you can't do it tonight. You can go back and watch us again. June the 2nd, public hearing. There will be information about how to participate. You can come and, you know, say whatever you want. I mean, as long as you don't get out of hand. But I know people don't like it. Tell us. Tell us why. I mean, we know people don't like it. We don't like it either. But throw out ideas if you want to. That's fine. But be a part of it. This is a difficult time. This is your budget as well as the city's budget. You know, pay attention, listen, email us if you have questions. We can get you those answers, and know that we're trying, and know that we're keeping an eye on everything going on, because we're trying to figure our way out of this as well. All
right, just about 30 seconds as we wrap this up. You know, obviously we're in phase 1 here in Metro, and they're closely monitoring it in these news conferences, and we'll hear another one today. You know, there have been indications that the way things have gone in terms of the infection trend, that it looks like, you know, hopefully, could it be next week that we move to phase 2?
So I meet with the mayor tomorrow.
Okay.
Those numbers look like they're pretty steady. I'll have a better idea tomorrow whether we might be moving to phase 2. But the numbers look good. He hasn't said anything yet. Numbers look good. Nick, one last thing. Pastor Fuzz back in the hospital again.
Yeah.
I talked to him yesterday. He's fighting through this. Just wanted to give him a shout out.
You know, I was going to bring that up as we wrap things as well. Reverend Fuzz, of course, is you know, someone who's called into this show and a good friend of both of ours over the years. I go way back with Reverend Fuzz. Think the world of him. He was hospitalized briefly, right? And we thought, okay, what was it? Turned out to be pneumonia, not COVID-19. Still had problems, has gone back, and now he's fighting cancer. And he is going to be back in touch with me today about some test results. But I mean, they think it's something that's treatable. But thoughts and prayers for Reverend Fuzz. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. Jim, thanks for coming on. We'll see you again next week, my friend, all right?
All right, sounds good.
Take a break, and when we come back, I'll have a programming note about what you can expect for tomorrow, everyone. Stay with us.